Hey,
Hi, Worthingway.
I know you're looking forward to pool day. Let's go see what Noah has on it.
I'm here with Matt Edwards, interviewing him about pool day and the design team bringing their boats. So, Matt, what does your boat look like?
It's kind of like, it's pretty much like a rectangle, but at the front it's kind of like inclined at the bottom. So rectangle all around, but an inclined front. So it's pretty legit.
Do you think that's going to help it go through the water faster?
I think it will because it's not like having the front just like push. It's water's just under it.
Okay. And do you think it's going to be fun to have the kids swimming and have the boats in the water at the same time?
I think it might be a little bit difficult. Might have to avoid them, but I'm not sure how it's gonna work. So
Okay.
fun.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Boys in talking about the pool day with the design team bringing their boats. So, Miss Voisin, what are the design kids thinking about what doing with the boats on pool day?
Well, the Design 8 students are going to be testing their cardboard boats at the pool. We've done this before, but we thought it would be great to take them to pool day with us. So we are making our boats out of cardboard. First of all, they had to model their boats just using, get my little boat tub, using just poster board, and we covered it with wax paper to see if it floated and put some weight in it to analyze it. Then their boat, they're making out of cardboard and lots of it, and we will be taking those down to the pool on pool day. The whole idea behind the project is to use the 9 steps of the design process to solve a problem. So of course they had to brainstorm and research and do lots of sketching, do some modeling and some evaluation. That's why we had the models. And then we'll make the boat full scale out of cardboard, and then the whole school can cheer us on as we race around the pool.
What other projects do the design team do this year?
Well, on the 18th of May, the 7th grade design class will be having their shoe show. They had to model a pair of shoes. They formed a company. They had to come up with a logo. They had to make their shoes. Somebody has to wear them. That's part of their grade. They have to be able to walk in their shoe. They had to make a container to keep it in, and then evaluate it. And again, that's for the 7th graders, and again, that's using the design process to solve a problem.
Okay, thanks.
Some teachers are retiring this year. Let's go see what.
Emily has to say about it.
Hi, I'm Emily Schroeder here with Mrs. Flynn, interviewing her about her retirement. So, what is one of your favorite memories from Worthingway?
Emily, I discovered the book The Outsiders the first year I taught here as a sub, and I would say that the celebration of reading that book and having Outsiders Day with everybody dressed up and playing games and working with Mr. Villette to create a memory is really, really a highlight.
So, how long have you been teaching?
I taught for 3 years in Illinois when I graduated from college, and then I've been with Worthington Schools for 25 and a half years.
What made you decide to become a teacher?
I decided on that vocation when I was halfway through college. I had thought I might go in a different direction, writing or working in an office, and I got to the middle of college and thought, teaching is a wonderful option, and so I just shifted. I have a grandmother who taught in a one-room schoolhouse, and she was really, really good, and I think that started my interest too.
Thanks. What is something valuable that you've learned from your students?
When you spend as much time as I have with people who are 12, 13, and 14 years old, you replay your own life a lot those years. And I think I have learned from those kids that there was a freedom, an energy, a laughter, a component of learning and exploring the world and relationships that is very special about these years. And it's made me value them and value those years.
So, what will you miss most about teaching here?
I will miss coming to work in a place that is so pleasant, a world filled with creative, energized, optimistic, happy people, both adults and kids.
So, what do you plan to do in your retirement?
We're going to go visit friends and family as much as we can in the next couple of months. We miss doing that.
I'm here interviewing Mrs. Voisin on her retirement. So, what was one of your favorite memories here at Worthingway?
Before I was at Worthingway, I taught at the high school, and I'd look out the window on a beautiful May or June day, and I'd see all these kids walking with their swim bags to the pool. So one of my best favorite memories was the first time I got to go to the pool.
How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching for 15 years. My first 9 years were at Thomas, and then I came here.
What made you decide to become a teacher?
I chose late, kind of in the middle of my life after a couple other careers, to go back to school and become a teacher. I had the chance at that time in my life to make a career change, and I always thought I'd be a good teacher. So I went back and I took the classes I need to become a tech teacher.
What is something valuable you've learned from your students here at Worthingway?
Every day I learn something from my students. My students teach me, I think, more than I teach them. When we're working on different design projects, they always teach me some new ways of doing things, some detailed computer programs. They always are teaching me something. So in my classroom, everybody's the teacher.
What will you miss most about teaching?
I won't miss grading things, but I think for sure I'll miss the interaction with the students. The kids is what it's all about.
What do you plan to do first on your retirement?
I plan to go on a vacation in September, October, November, December, so I can go on a vacation anytime. I don't have to wait till summer anymore.
Thank you.
I hope they have a happy retirement.
I hear the science students are doing some pretty nifty projects this year.
Oh, I think Hunjin has something about that. Let's go see what she has.
Hello, I'm Hunjin Kim, and I'm here with Mrs. Spencer to talk to her about the science projects we do after the OAAs. So, Mrs. Spencer, what are the projects that we do?
In the 7th grade, you will be building solar cars. And in the 8th grade, we're going to be building bridges.
When do we start?
These projects will begin on May 9th.
What are our learning targets?
We're hoping that you're going to be able to apply the concepts you've learned in your science classes. So, 7th grade, hopefully you learn some things about energy conversion, and you're going to apply that to make your solar cars convert sunlight into electricity that will run the cars. And in 8th grade, you learn some things about forces, so compression, tension, torsion, shearing. We're hoping you don't have shearing with your bridge, but you could.
How well do you think we'll work to create our cars and bridges?
In the past, students have worked really hard, and it's been so much fun at the end when we have our competition to see who's made the best product.
And do you have any advice for us?
Give it your best and apply the things that you've already learned in science. The more you apply, the better your project is going to be.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah, it does. How about that lock-in?
I think David has a story about it.
Let's go see what he has.
Hi, I'm David Darling, and I'm here with Ellie Potts, Vice President of the Student Council. Ellie, can you tell us about the 8th grade lock-in?
Well, the 8th graders that pay $35 will get a chance to enjoy activities at Magic Mountain all night long.
What kind of activities are there?
There's go-karting all night, and then we have laser tag, and then the other games too to get tokens.
And how long does it last?
From midnight to 5 in the morning.
Thanks, Ellie.
You're welcome.
if you've read the newspaper, you would know that Eli Massey has an article on This Week in History. Let's go check it out.
20th century Adolf Hitler is pronounced dead in 1945, and exactly 66 years later, on the very same day, in 2011, Osama bin Laden is also pronounced dead. In 1868, Memorial Day is first observed by General John Logan, and the first Mother's Day is observed in 1908. In 1862, Mexican troops defeat French forces 3-1 in the Battle of Puebla, which is celebrated today as Cinco de Mayo. Also this month, the first Loch Ness Monster sighting is claimed by John Mackay in 1933. The city of New Orleans is founded in 1718, and a bicycle is pedaled at 65 miles per hour in 1986. This month also is very important to the history of South Africa because it marks the days the first white woman wins the right to vote in the country in 1930 and marks the first multiracial elections of the country in 1993. This month even marks the historically moving event of Amelia Earhart becoming the first woman to fly across the Atlantic in 1932. Lastly, for all of you who have ever wondered why Brazil's native language is Portuguese while all the countries around it speak Spanish, here's why. In 1493, Spain and Portugal were arguing over where exactly the New World was. They decided to go to Pope Alexander VI to come up with a compromise. The Pope solved the issue by drawing an imaginary line going north and south over the Western Hemisphere. The line would have the Spanish dominate one side and the Portuguese the other. The line crossed straight through modern-day Brazil, giving the Portuguese control over a small area of South America. That's the history of this month, and I hope you enjoyed the facts. See ya.
The rest of your days, it's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata?
Yeah, it's our motto.
What's the motto?